Hi, I'm Raymond, the office manager here in Tampa, and welcome to Thinking Thursday Part 2. So we're going to go over a little bit about rent versus buying, and more in particularly the pros and cons of it. So if you own your own house, there's a fixed monthly amount that you've got to pay to the bank that specifically granted that loan amount, whereas if you're renting, that can change on a year-to-year basis depending on your lease terms. And to keep up with current inflations, which is roughly around 3%, and oftentimes depending on different amounts of demand about going into that particular zip code or area, you might be paying more than 3% extra per year. Now let's talk a little bit about equity as well. When you own your own house, you can gain equity month per month, whereas when you're renting, you're basically taking that money, your hard-earned money, and just giving it away. You'll never see that money ever again, and it's just filling the lining of the pockets of those investors and those landlords, so to speak. Taxes. When you own your own house, you can write it off on your taxes as an ever-depreciating asset. And on top of that, if that is the your residence that you live in there full-time, you can homestead it. So that further reduces your taxes as well. When you're renting, there's no tax deductions on any of that, and it will just continue to cost more and more each year. Now, keeping up and customizing it. When you own your own home, you can customize it however you want. You can add renovations to it and just build it that much better. And at the end of the day, when you add those improvements onto it, that's sweat equity. And that's going to be more money in your pocket at the end of the day because of those improvements that you've added to it. Whereas if you rent, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to make any big changes as to redesign the kitchen or the bathrooms or anything like that. You're going to have to change locations. And finally, your risk and value. So what is the risk and value of owning your own home? Well, oftentimes it's a lot lower than you would imagine. You've got that fixed monthly payment per month, and as long as you keep up with your taxes and pay those payments per month, there's literally no risk involved. And if anything, it's going to be a reward factor because the property values increase year to year. Whereas if you rent, there is no risk, but you're going to be losing a lot more money, and there's really no reward because you're not gaining equity. And finally, I want to get into some of the numbers, more specifically the interest rates and how it directly affects purchasing prices from 1 year ago to now. So last year, the average purchase price was $312,000 in Tampa, or more specifically, Hillsborough County. And 1 year ago, we were seeing about a 4.5% interest rate, which would equate to $1,582 for your monthly payment for your mortgage. Now jump forward 1 year later, today. The average purchase price is $365,586. It does seem like a big increase. However, since interest rates are so low, around 2.5%, you're actually going to be paying less per month, and particularly $1,442 per month. So that saves you $100 per month, which would equate to $1,200. I don't know about you, but I love saving money.